welcome to Today's Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about tonight? Bowser's leaving the Mushroom Kingdom. That's right. Bowser, the head president of Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser, that is leaving, stepping down at the end of the year. So let me get this article pulled up here. Here we go. All right, here we go. There's old Bowser. There's old Doug. All right, so Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America's president and chief operating officer, is stepping down, like I said, at the end of the year, December 31st, 2025, according to Nintendo. Bowser leadership responsibilities will now be split between two executives. Devin Pritchard, NOA's executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience, will take over as president, and Satoru Shibata? I don't know, I probably butchered that. The current corporate director and managing executive director will act as the company's CEO. So Pritchard, I don't know, man, that's not like I don't have a cool last name anymore. I don't have like
not gonna fit in like Bowser did.
No, like Devin Toad or nothing. Bowser first joined in 2015 as vice president of sales and marketing before replacing longtime president Reggie in 2019. In comparison to some of the company's other leaders, Bowser has much less of a public-facing presence, or he's had much less of it. He's still guiding Nintendo America through a transformative portion of the company's history. They opened up the theme park, which Bowser was in charge of, and it also had the Super Mario Brothers movie and successful console launch with the Switch 2. Bowser also weathered his fair share of controversies, including reports that Nintendo of America was failing to address issues of gender discrimination among its employees. Leading Nintendo of America has been an honor of a lifetime, he says, and I am proud of what the team has accomplished in both business results and the experience we've created for consumers. He said in a statement, "Now it's time for the next generation of leadership, and Devin's track record speaks for itself." Bowser continued, "She is an exceptional leader, and her promotion is a testament to her strong performance and strategic contributions to the company's growth." According to Nintendo, Pritchard plans to build on the many experiences that allow customers to connect with Nintendo's characters and worlds, from video games to entertainment to retail experiences. The company might be too big and successful now for features to feature someone with as much personality as Reggie Fils-Aimé. But if Pritchard plans to stick with the business as usual, maybe Shibata could become the public face Nintendo has been missing. And I agree with that. Like, Doug Bowser, cool name aside, was not, he wasn't the Reggie. Like, Reggie was like the mascot for Nintendo for a long time, right? Because Reggie would come out on stage and he always did crazy things and his antics and stuff like that. But like, it was kind of like Phil Spencer before, at the beginning when Phil took over Microsoft, right? Not where Phil is today. Phil's kind of like gone into hiding, and that's where he's been this entire time. But, starting out, but Reggie was that way out in the spotlight from the beginning, right? And so everyone was always excited to see Reggie on the stage and stuff. And Reggie always brought that excitement about what Nintendo was doing, right? Doug really didn't. And it kind of shows too, because I feel like Nintendo has really gone very, they've always been corporate, but they've really gone like really corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of overalls, like Mario's got like a business suit on now, right? That's how corporate they've gone with everything. Like, they used to be this fun company, and they still are in a sense, but at the other sense, they're like really down to business, suing everybody into oblivion and doing some really shady stuff with, like, not shady, but just like not very consumer friendly stuff with like, not just their theme parks, but also like, the price of their consoles and the price of their games, and like, and things of that nature. Like they've done some really weird stuff lately, especially with the Switch 2. Like the Switch 2, I like the console. Like I said, it's like an upgraded version of the Switch, but it seems like, I don't know, Nintendo went a weird direction with the Switch 2. It almost feels like more of a like mid-gen bump than a whole console thing. In the way that Nintendo altered themselves. I mean, because they're coming out with, they showed off the new amiibos, right? The Mario for the Galaxy re-release that they're doing. They showed off the amiibos they're making for that, and for Metroid, they showed off the amiibos for that, which is not unusual. But the amiibos are $50 and up. Each one of these are. When amiibos are usually like $15, right? They've always been like $15, $20. These are all the price of a cheap video game for these amiibos, and it's like, it's insane. Like the stuff Nintendo is doing right now is, it almost feels like Nintendo has gotten to the point where like their ego is so big, you know, and it's like, we can do whatever we want type of thing, and that's what really starts to hurt them in the consumer's eyes eventually, right, over time. I like Nintendo stuff and everything that Nintendo, all the Nintendo characters and their IPs and stuff like that, and their consoles and games and things like that. But what Nintendo is doing as a company is not, I'm not a fan of, right? As far as consumer side of things, right? So I don't know. Will Doug leaving change that? I don't think so. I feel like maybe with Devin, especially coming from, what did she come from? Sales? Oh, no, he came from sales. She comes from marketing. Oh, no, yeah, marketing and consumer experience. I don't know. Maybe better. I don't know. But we need that customer facing, you know, side that Reggie did. And I think that we need more of a back to, I don't know, back to the basics. Like, let's not do a Wii U or a, you know, let's not do the, what was the other one that flopped for them? I can't remember, but let's not do that with the Switch 2, right? I think the Switch 2 is a good device, but I mean, like, they're easy to find, right? I don't think they sold as much as they thought. I don't know the sell. Do you know the sales for those Switch 2 overall, like what they sold? Because I mean, you can find them easily.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like pretty high, I thought, though.
I know it sold well, but I don't know how well it sold comparatively.
Yeah, I all I saw was some of the Japanese numbers where they had sold over 2 million units in 13 weeks in Japan, which was more than the Switch 1 did.
Well, that's good.
So, I mean, you know.
Well, okay, so this one says this was a month ago. Nintendo Switch 2 has now surpassed 2 million units sold in the U.S. life to date.
There you go.
It's currently 75% ahead of unit sales price set by the original Nintendo Switch.
There you go.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, what can you say, right? As somebody like Doug Bowser, most of us, including myself, have no clue what the hell he does behind the scenes, right? Does he have any real power, right? I mean, most of the decisions are made from corporate Japan, right? Not from here, right? Maybe has a little bit of pull with, you know, I don't think that'll do well in a Western market, you know, and things like that. Maybe if you tweak this, it will, or that. Maybe his team can have a little bit of insight into that. But the majority of what happens in Nintendo comes from corporate Japan and not the North American office, right? I mean, and the problem is that Doug Bowser, outside of his name, fades into the background because everybody that's been around a Nintendo fan knows Reggie. Reggie is like the outgoing bro meme guy, you know, is what I put him. He's out, very personable. He's just one of those people that makes you feel like he's one of the people, even though he's like a high-end exec, right? We've all met those people. You go to like, you work in a corporate environment and you're like, how the hell is that guy a C Street exec and acts and talks in the way he does, right? We've all worked at places and you're like, that's a C Street exec. And then you're like, that guy's definitely not a C Street exec, but he is, you know? So what do you do, right? I think that as history goes on, Doug Bowser will fade into the background, kind of like he did at Nintendo. his namesake was the only thing that I really remember about him, to be honest with you. For the most part, if his name was something random, I'd have been like, who? You know, if his name was Doug Wilson or whatever, I'd be like, who? Because he
people
doesn't
still know Reggie today.
They
right?
do, but yeah. Reggie was at all of the directs. He was at most of the directs and like E3s and all that stuff. And then when Doug Bowser came out, he kind of didn't do that. I think he did like an E3 or 2 or something like that when he came out. But then that was really it. He doesn't do the directs. He's not right in front of the screen. So maybe, you know, I don't know. It's so weird. But you know, is that his fault? I don't know. Is that something that maybe when Reggie left, you know, Nintendo Japan was like, don't do that. We don't want that. You know, I don't know.
You're still in too much of the spotlight.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you thought about Nintendo, you thought about Reggie. You didn't think about corporate Japan. And now when I think about Nintendo, I think about corporate Japan and not Doug Bowser for that instance, you know? So, I mean, maybe their new CEO,
Devin.
I think he'll be a background person.
That's a girl. Devin is.
I thought Devin was. Are you sure? I thought Shibata was. Satoru. I don't know.
So Satoru Shibata Shibata is the current
he's going to be
corporate
the CEO,
director,
right?
and he's going to be the CEO.
Okay.
And Devin's going to be the president.
Okay. Yeah. So I think he will go
Devin's
background.
a girl, and then
I'm
assuming Satoru is a guy.
Yeah. So I think Satoru will be the background, like business side, and then hopefully Devin will be like a public face. I don't know much about Devin Pritchard. No, whatever, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Nintendo just reined all that in to begin with. They're like, we don't want another Reggie. I don't know. I thought he was good for Nintendo when I did Reggie. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't really think Nintendo North America has a lot of pull anyway. To be honest, I wish they had a lot more pull to say that game that you're only going to release in Japan will do really well over here. Let's bring it over here. You know, because they do still do that, and you're like, why? We want that. People are buying bootleg copies of it, you know, or they're buying the Japanese version so they can play it over here without, you know. I understand why some stuff doesn't come, but I think that they don't realize the appetite that Western countries have for JRPGs. They're out there.
Right. And for a lot of stuff, I mean, because it's not just Nintendo that does that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of Japanese developers that still bring games here. But there's certain titles of the games they make they don't bring here. And it's like, you know, because I've seen titles and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Like, where can I download that? It's not on Steam. I can't seem to find it. And I look and I'm like, it's only in Japan or whatever, or in Asian markets. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I want to play that.
Well, yeah, I got to find a way to get it over here. So maybe, I don't know how she pronounced her name. Probably not Devin, right? It's Devon, or I don't know how she pronounced her name, but Pritchard. She will be, hopefully she'll be the face again, like Reggie was, and we'll get a little bit more of the banter and the personable side of Nintendo. Because like I said, Bowser was always in the background. And I think as time goes on, only reason anybody will associate Doug with Nintendo is because Bowser. Doug Bowser and Nintendo was like it seemed like it was going to be a perfect match, and then you're like, all right, what does this guy do? You know, he's not the face. He's the name, but not the face of Nintendo North America. Bowser was the name. So is that what we're gonna get? We're gonna get, you know, I don't know. Time will tell. I mean, but Bowser did, you know, he held on to the whole. And like I said, it's hard to tell what he does. Was he behind a lot of the litigious side of Nintendo in North America, or is that mostly corporate Japan, right? They were the ones that are like, we're going to stick our lawyers on these guys.
Oh, yeah, it's probably them. But I mean, I think he did a lot of the stuff that happened in the U.S., like the theme movies. Park, the movies and stuff like that. All the U.S. type.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
so that's why I think he's
handling all the crap from that.
Whatever your beliefs are, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. It was just okay.
I liked the movie.
You know, and I have not got to go to the theme park yet. I'm hoping that when we
I want to go to the theme park.
We'll go to the theme park in Japan when we go to
Japan. There we go.
So that's when we'll go to the theme park. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I don't know why Bowser is leaving, really. There's not a whole lot in there because I don't think he's at retirement age yet. So, I mean, he's 60, I guess. I just looked up. He's 60. I don't think he's retired. I mean, maybe he wants to retire. I don't know. He could probably go to a board somewhere and make some money, be on a board of directors where he doesn't have to be in the front of public or anything like that. I wish Doug Bowser good luck. It's not like I don't have feelings towards him one way or the other. There's no animosity, but there's also there's not love like we had for Reggie, So I have no real concept of like or dislike this guy because he was just in the background all the time, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know why he's, maybe because somebody could shed light on why exactly he's retiring from or leaving Nintendo of America. It seems kind of odd. But it happens, I guess. So there could
it's hard for me to feel anything for somebody like that. I don't really.
Yeah. When Reggie retired, it was like, oh man, but when Doug Bowser, like, yeah, you're exactly right. Like he was in the background, like you barely saw him. Like I forgot he was even there half the time.
Right. You only remember two things about a guy when they leave a company: if he was a really shitty leader or if he was a really great leader. Right. The people that blend in the background, you don't remember, right?
Yeah.
So like everybody remembers Don Matrix, and why do you remember Don Matrix? Because he was a shitty leader.
Right. Exactly.
And then with Phil Spencer ever leaves, you remember him as he started out as a great leader, and then he just kind of faded away. Because I don't hear shit about.
I don't hear anything. Yeah, he like faded into the darkness, and he's been gone. Like I don't know what. I hope he's doing all right. I mean, it's like I don't know where the hell he's been.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the dude's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he pops up every now and then, but nothing really.
It's kind of like Mark Cerny, right? Mark Cerny's not president of Sony, but like Mark Cerny pops out every now and again to talk about PlayStation, and then goes back into the weeds.
All right. So like I said,
Todd Howard.
Yeah.
Todd needs to go into the shadows for a bit.
He does, right?
He does.
Mike,
putting your foot in your mouth, Todd. Go in the shadows for a little bit.
Right. Yep. So, like I said, I have no real. He won't be to me. Is me as a fan or me as a person outside of his circle or whatever. I won't remember him outside of that. Bowser worked at Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo had a Bowser working for.
They had a Bowser. That's pretty much it. That's all I'll remember. Like I'll probably not even remember that.
He'll pop up every now and then, like some of these past execs going, "Well, that's stupid," or "That's a good idea." And you're like, "Who the hell is that guy again?" Oh, Bowser. They'll say Doug, former CEO of Nintendo North America or whatever, and you'd be like, "Who?"
They had a Doug?
And Bowser. And you'll read the article and be like, Doug Bowser. You're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy because of Bowser."
Yeah.
So,
well, there you go. So good luck to Doug, I guess. And Devin and Shibata. Or Satora, or whatever his name was. I can't remember now.
Shibata's the last name, yeah.
Satoru.
Satoru or whatever.
Satoru. Yeah, Satoru. Shibata. Yeah. He'll be the CEO, and then Devin is the president. So we'll see how they do as far as, bring back become the face. Like have fun with like Reggie did. That's I think we in the gaming side of things enjoyed that. So
yep, we do.
Especially if you were good. I mean, I don't know how you were with the employees, but to the consumers, you were a good CEO or president. So anyway, let us know down in the comments below if you give a damn. And other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, hit the subscribe button, bell notifications, stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. We'll see you next time.